What is up, YouTube? It's me, Keltick, back once again today to show you how to build in Smite. Today, I am talking about Hou Yi. Hou Yi is always one of those gods that people are going to be picking up in Smite because, well, there's that ricochet thing that people seem to adore, plus his ultimate just has way too much space control to ignore. So, if you're building Hou Yi, here are my recommendations. So Hou Yi has actually gone into a full transition from building, say, Dev's Gloves in Season 4. He is now back to Transcendence in Season 5. So, with that said, here's how I start the game off. I am building my Hunter's Blitzing, and I'm building the Tier 1 of Transcendence. Then I get a couple pots, you know the drill. But that is going to give me very good early pressure. Now remember, as Hou Yi, you do not need to be hitting crazy triple bounces to kill someone. Just bide your time, get your Mark of the Crow on someone, and get the stun. The stun is way more important than a flashy triple bounce. So let's move into the rest of the build. Since Hou Yi does not have a major attack speed steroid like some of the other hunters do, we are going to be building Ninja Tabby. This gives him a bit of attack speed, which he's going to need later on, especially with the crit build that I'm going to be using. So after we finish up our boots, we are going to be moving right into Aussie. Basically what this item does is gives you a shit ton of lifesteal for really cheap. Plus, it helps that attack speed move along. They just buffed it so it gets even more attack speed now, but trust me, you're gonna want Aussie. Right after Aussie, you have a choice to make. You can either start building into your crit, or you can build Executioner. As Hou Yi, the choice isn't too crazy either way because you do have Mark of the Crow, which does provide a lot of penetration on the target you put it on. But typically, I always go into Executioner before crit, so I'm building Aussie, then Exy, and then I'm building into my Critical Strike. So now when you're thinking about building your Critical Strike items, there's a bunch of different options that you can go. My favorite right now is Rage into Deathbringer. Now the reason for this is with the changes they've made to Rage, it is actually just an insane amount of critical strike chance for not a lot of gold, especially if you are capable of getting those stacks online. Now, if you think you're not going to be able to get those stacks online, then Rage is not the best option for you. And like honestly, if you're behind, I recommend getting Poison Star, because if you're behind and you can limit the amount of damage that's coming onto you with critical strikes at the same time, that's the route that I would go if I was behind and getting dove constantly and all this other crap. But in most situations, if you're capable of getting the stacks and you are putting people down, you want to pick up Rage into Deathbringer. Otherwise, I guess go into Poison Star into Deathbringer. Deathbringer is still a must. They've tweaked it, nerfed it. It's still a really strong item for hunters, especially because Malice sucks, especially in 5.5. God, Malice sucks. Now, my hatred of Malice aside, there's actually a bit of variation that you can go in the build. I am typically always building into Critical Strike for Hou Yi. There are options for if you don't want to build crit with Hou Yi. Yeah, go into the typical cookie cutter build. But I'm always building crit on Hou Yi because of Mark of the Crow. Mark of the Crow makes this god unique. It sets up all your combos, but most importantly, it works really well with crit because you're getting the 25% pen. That is important. Use it. Don't be afraid to put your mark on a tank because just the protection shred alone is going to be killer. Anyways, that's all the time that I have for this video, guys. If you enjoyed watching, hit that like button. If you want to see more stuff from me, subscribe. I do stuff like this probably around once a week. Most of the time. Anyways, that's all the time that I have. This is Keltick, signing off. Have yourselves a casual day.